Good afternoon, everyone. Myself is Vigneshwari, Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering from SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore. So today I am going to discuss on the topic input and output characteristics of common base transistor configuration. Right. So this comes under the subject bipolar junction transistor, basic electrical and electronic circuits. So let's recall with the points we discussed in the previous session. So we have discussed about the basics of BJT, transistor configurations and input and output characteristics. A transistor has three terminals, emitter, base and collector. So the emitter current will be equal to the sum of base current and the collector current. The three transistor configurations are common base, common emitter and common collector. So today we will focus on common base configuration alone. So we are going to discuss about introduction to CB configuration, input and output characteristics, graph analysis, regions of operations and applications. What is the need for transistor characteristics? So to understand the transistor behavior and it helps in circuit design and determines the gain and performance and useful for amplifier analysis. Right? Engineers use the graph while designing the amplifier circuits. So characteristics help to determine the current gain, voltage gain and the resistor value. They also help to identify whether the transistor is operating in its active, cutoff or saturation region. So without characteristic curve, designing electronic circuits would be very difficult. What is CB configuration? So this is common base configuration where base terminal is common. Input between emitter and the base and the output is between collector and the base. This is used on high frequency application. In common base configuration, the base terminal acts as a common terminal for both input and output circuit. The base emitter junction is forward biased and the collector base junction is reverse biased. Common base configuration is mainly used in high frequency application because it provides better frequency response, high voltage gain and stable performance. However, its current gain is less than 1. Input characteristics of CB. Now let us study the input characteristics. Emitter current is IE and the emitter base voltage is VBE while keeping the collector base voltage VCB constant. Right? So the emitter base junction behaves like a forward biased diode. As VBE increases slightly, emitter current also increases rapidly. This means a small voltage change produces a larger current change. CB configuration has low input impedance. The characteristics is similar to forward characteristics of a PN junction diode. Output characteristics. Here, the collector current is IC and the collector base voltage is VCB. So the relation between IC and VCB we are going to see here. So when we increase the collector base voltage, the collector current remains almost constant. This is because the collector current mainly depends upon the emitter current and not much on the collector voltage. Only a slight increase occurs due to the leakage current. VI characteristics. IC is almost constant with VCB, which is collector to base voltage, and slight increases due to the leakage current. Also, high output resistance it has. So the graph also shows the operating region of active, saturation and the cutoff region. We observe from the graph that the collector current does not vary much with that of the base collector voltage. So this indicates that transistor offers a high output resistance. For amplification purpose, the transistor is operated in the active region where emitter base junction is forward biased and the collector base junction is reverse biased, and this region provides a stable amplification. Advantages and applications. Some important advantages are high voltage gain, better high frequency responses, good stability, and the current gain alpha is less than 1. And the applications include RF amplifier, communication circuits, high frequency signal processing, and impedance matching circuits. So let's summarize. Base is a common terminal and the input is IE versus VBE. The base is common terminal and the input is IE versus VBE. In common base configuration, the base terminal is common. Input characteristics represent the variation of the emitter current with response to the base emitter voltage, and this is mainly used in high frequency and RF applications. The collector current is approximately equal to that of the emitter current. And which region is used for amplification? Active region. So these are the references I have used. So kindly watch my previous videos on the BJT. Thank you.